Deja vu for you, brother. This one is a 14 Honda CR-V. Customer came in stating hearing a grinding noise at low speeds. They want an oil change. There was an oil light on for a second. You can see the oil life's at 30%. This 14 actually does not have the service bulletin for pistons and rings, but it could still very likely be pistons and rings. So we are at 142,000 miles. The last oil change in the history is 136,000 miles. So that's about 6,500 miles. And the oil life's at 30%, so whatever. Anyways, let's check the oil level. And I'm gonna go ahead and assume, based off of this cooked dipstick, that we ain't got no oil in there, bud. Nope. Alrighty, 2 in a row. Let's actually take off this cap this time. Fill up the wishy-wash fluid. Terrible reservoir design. Just terrible. Steady flow. Steady. Well, shit. We got this stuff. Jesus! Opa! Oh, jeez. There you go. Coolant is at the max. Okie dokie. Okay. Let's see how much oil is in this curvy. Show me what you got. Oh. Oh boy. That is even less than the last one. Yeah. Yeah. New washer for you, bud, though. Can't be mad at that. Let's, bare hands this filter. There you go. That's dark. That's some dark chocolate. Yeah. Looks a little rough, not gonna lie. Yeah. New filter. A little bit of used oil. Wait for that to drippy drip. Just for the hell of it. Once again, I will clean off the mating surface. Just a little wipe down for you, bud. Fantastic. New filter. On you go. Very gently. And let's wait for that to start dripping. It's not looking that good, bud. Where's my super suit? Mirror on a stick. Just gonna peek this brake Peek the inner brake pad, that's a Buddha. Maybe a 4 milli, a little less than a 4 milli to the sensor, bud. This is just a free visual inspection while I'm waiting, so don't freak out there, bud. That's a Buddha, 3 to 4 milli. And that, that's about a 4 milli. And that's about a 4 milli. Strut looks good. Strut looks good. Rusty. Oh, she's got a wee bit of rust to her, bud. Looking real nice though, other than probably need pistons and rings there, bud. Right quick, I will show you what the engine oil consumption test looks like. Make sure the oil level is at the full mark, which is what I did on the last car. And basically they're gonna come back in 1,000 miles, or 1,000 to 3,000 miles. And if the oil level is below the min, then that means there's excessive oil consumption and there's an issue likely with the pistons and rings. So if it's above a quart every 1,000 miles. So yeah, we basically just print this little sheet out and fill it out and have them come back in 1,000 miles for the bad news, bud. Tiny bit of seepage from the case. We ain't worried about that, bud. Belt looks good. Condenser looking real nice. This is a little saggy. How's this mount looking? Gorgeous. Gorgeous. For the concern, I wrote, found oil pressure light illuminated on dash when pulling in the shop. No excessive engine noise heard at this time. Found engine oil below min on dipstick. Last oil change performed at 136,234, meaning it's been 6,500 miles. Possible excessive engine oil consumption. Recommend starting oil consumption test and returning in 1,000 miles for results. And then if the engine consumes excessive oil, additional diagnostic will be needed in order to isolate the cause. So since this doesn't have that service bulletin for pistons and rings, I'm gonna need to verify that it is indeed pistons and rings. It could be worn valve guides. It could be a few different things. So it's likely pistons and rings, but gonna need to do some diagnostics to ensure that it is the pistons and rings, so we can get a proper fix for you, bud. It has been a minute. Good old drip on that. Throw the plug in her, bud. Almost forgot to do some wrench flippies here. Oh, that'll do, nothing crazy. Beautiful. Razzle dazzle. All up in now. Wiper on dune. I can't. Mint. To fill her to the top mark. Gonna put a little more than 4.5 quarts. If we want to get to the top mark, we're gonna need to fill it to about 4.8. So yeah, if you put the correct capacity in these cars, oil level's gonna sit right in the middle of those two dots. For this test, however, we do want it at the top mark, and that is with the engine at temperature. So fill her on up. Oop. Magical floating funnel of trust. Pure trust. Get all that in there, and we pivot, and we pivot. Focus. Capachut. Brother, what's that? Kappa. Chi. No. Dip stick. Done with that. These 14s for sure can have a little bit of tensioner clatter or VTC clatter on first start with the oil filter not being primed. So with these ones, I like to especially turn the ignition for a second and let it crank a few times and then turn it back so it doesn't actually run, and that will prime the filter, bud. So just like that. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, who knows? And then she should start up and not make any noise. Mint. Oil light went away immediately, so we successfully primed the filter without filling it up outside of the car, which could cause contamination to get into the filter past the actual filter portion. So yeah, techie tip for you, bud. Reset this oil light, and again with this one, same thing. We're gonna get it to operating temperature before we check the oil level. Okay, we are at operating temperature. We'll let her simmer down a wee bit here and turn her off. We want to wait at least like 30 seconds before sticking the dipstick back in to recheck, because you want to have all that oil in the galleys and up in the head kind of settle down back into the pan to get an accurate reading. Ooh, she is definitely torched. A little dark there. Definitely a sign of engine oil consumption and not having enough oil in your vehicle. So let's see if we're at the tippy top. Pretty close. Smidge more. Same situation with the last car. Should have learned from that, I guess. Just a smidge. About a quarter of a quart there, bud. Should be good. And once again, we need to run the engine for a second to cycle that oil that I just put in there, and then let it sit for a few seconds, let all the oil settle down, blah blah blah. Start her up, give her a little revy poo, rev her up a wee bit, let her settle down. Should be golden, pony boy. This is it. We nailed it. Yeah, buddy. Right at the top. Just need to print out the oil consumption test, give it to the customer, have them come back in 1,000 miles, and let them know that they need pistons and rings, bud. Another one. Shit's so nice, I did it twice.